There was a trilogy when I was a boy. How it ended, now everybody knows. This trilogy changed the world forever. How to Train Your Dragon Free, The Hidden World. Written and directed once again by Dean DeBlois, director of the first two, and is the 32nd DreamWorks movie overall, as well as the first and final installment in the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. So, How to Train Your Dragon Free, The Hidden World tells the story taking place 1 year after the events of How to Train Your Dragon 2. Hiccup is now chief of Berk, and Toothless is now the alpha of dragons, and they have successfully transformed Berk into the world's first dragon Viking utopia, although Berk is becoming ridiculously overpopulated with dragons at this point, and they have made plenty of enemies. By rescuing dragons, Hiccup has sadly not changed the rest of the world's mind about dragons, and Hiccup has no idea he's about to face his greatest threat yet, Grimmel the Grizzly, the most feared dragon hunter who has ever lived. He's hunted every single Night Fury to near extinction except for Toothless, so he is coming for Toothless and for the dragon colony on Berk itself. So in order to evade Grimmel, Hiccup makes the greatest sacrifices he's ever had to make by moving Berk to in search of the legendary hidden worlds of the dragon in which Stoic told him about in his childhood. And to track Toothless, Grimmel releases the female version of the Night Fury, the Light Fury, who has a mind of her own and does form a super cute romance with Toothless. And I wanted to give two special shout outs. First to Lee O'Brien / the Dragon Critic, and the second to Mr. TARDIS 11 / Ollie Pajak. We were aboard the hype train for this movie as true fans of How to Train Your Dragon, especially Lee. How to Train Your Dragon is now his favourite franchise, and he was so lucky to go to the premiere. So jealous, Lee, but yeah, check out their reviews. I am finally ready to review my most anticipated movie of 2019 and my most anticipated movie of all time in general, since How to Train Your Dragon 2 concluded. I waited 5 years for this movie, but I will happily wait 100 freaking years for a How to Train Your Dragon movie, as I absolutely adore this franchise with such a passion. First, How to Train Your Dragon, true animated classic, and How to Train Your Dragon 2, even better. That was the Empire Strikes Back of animation. And does this movie top How to Train Your Dragon 2? Abso-fucking-lutely. How to Train Your Dragon Free, The Hidden World is not only the best in the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, not only DreamWorks' best movie, but the best movie I have ever seen since The Lion King. So let me get to my nothing but positive review. This movie had the balls to end this trilogy. As Jay Baruchel, Hiccup's voice actor, said, this ending will leave you sad but satisfied, and that's exactly what the ending is. It's both a combination of a happy and sad ending at the same time, and it's a it's a real life thought-provoking message that we can't have dragons because we as humans have been dicks to them, and that's a reflection of our world today. It knocks some sense. It knocks some sense into us why peace is awesome and war sucks. And Hiccup in this movie, he is fully matured into a man as a chief, and you can feel that his struggles. He's having to make the most extreme sacrifices ever, not just for the people of Berk's safety, but for the dragon's safety. He is boy is he struggling to be in the minority in the world about rescuing dragons, and Hiccup is questioning, is he anything without Toothless? Would Timon be anything without Pumbaa? But Hiccup needs to realise that he is a badass, and he is great even without Toothless, and he realises at this point he needs to let go of Toothless and he puts Toothless's needs before his own. And I absolutely loved Astrid in this movie. This is the best we've ever seen from her in this entire franchise. She helps Hiccup let go of Toothless and help him believe in himself. And I love her moments with Valka. I love how they were forming a strong mother and daughter-in-law bond, and were working together to help Hiccup succeed. I love that Valka in this movie. It's awesome seeing her being part of the Dragon Riders and rescue dragons with her son and daughter-in-law. I love how Astrid and the Dragon Riders in this movie stick with Hiccup throughout. They have more screen time than ever, and they are fully with Hiccup in the most important scenes of the movie. Snotlouse is flirting with Valka, and that worked for me because that's his character. He's a ladies' man, and Valka gets a new husband, and Toughness isn't voiced by T.J. Miller in this movie, but his new voice actor did such a perfect T.J. Miller impression you will never even notice. And Rough Nut in this movie was my favourite of the Dragon Riders. She has her most hilarious moment in the franchise where she is pissing off Gribble when she shows to be a chatterbox, and Toothless in this movie. I love how this story is just as focused on Toothless this time as it is on Hiccup. Not only does Toothless feel the weight of his responsibility of protecting his people, the dragons, as the alpha, but he's also maturing in finding a mate for the first time with his lover for the Light Fury, and it's really a conflict of hoes before bros with choosing between Hiccup and the Light Fury. But the way the friendship with Hiccup and Toothless, the greatest friendship in cinematic history, it's concluded powerfully, and it's poignant seeing Hiccup and Toothless hug for the first time. That's enough to bring any fan to tears, as it did me. And the Light Fury is my favourite How to Train Your Dragon character. I prayed for the third and final movie they'd give Toothless a girlfriend, and thank heavens Dean DeBlois did. She's the most important of the new characters in this story, and she can be a badass herself when, spoiler alerts, in the final battle, she saves the day, and she helped tie in with the Grimmel and Hidden World storyline when Grimmel was using her to bring Toothless to him, and the love scenes with Toothless and the Light Fury were most beautifully told love scenes I have ever seen on film, and all told it through silent animation. See 50 Shades, this is how you do a love story. As for our villain, Grimmel, voiced by F. Murray Abraham, even better than Drago. Grimmel is by far the greatest How to Train Your Dragon antagonist. This dude, not only does he have a far more screen time than and appears far earlier than Drago did. His backstory, where he wants genocide on the Night Furies and all dragons, that helps him be as dark as Lord Shen from Kung Fu Panda 2, but that makes him Hiccup and Toothless's most personal foe. And the moment where he is in Hiccup's house, that was one of the most tension-filled moments I have ever seen in a movie, period. F. Murray Abraham does as awesome a job at voicing Grimmel as the Disney villain voice actors, and Grimmel's Death Grippers, they were the most freaking terrifying and intimidating dragons you will ever see in your entire life. And when Grimmel feeds other dragons to them, this movie is the best looking animated movie I have seen since The Lion King, especially the Hidden World scene. We just see the Hidden World in one scene, but whoa, the Hidden World is so breathtaking that it's that sorry Pixar, this movie confirms DreamWorks as the supreme gods of CGI animation, and I loved seeing Stoic briefly in flashbacks. It was a beautiful tribute to the character. This movie's the longest of the trilogy. It's an hour and 45 minutes. It's the best paced by far. Never a single dull moment, and it's the darkest and most mature, epic, and the most emotional of the three. The battle sequences get fucking epic, and they get so dark. You are worried for our heroes constantly. And the movie's opening is an action scene. It's different from the typical "this is Burke" opening, which was a refreshing change of pace. And the fight with Hiccup and Grimmel in Hiccup's house to the final Armada battle, that was the best battle in this entire franchise. The score by John Powell is the most wonderful score in the series. The final moments of this movie, the final moments of How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden Worlds, you can see why this was a script that's brought even Steven Spielberg to tears. Because I'm a 23-year-old man, and I was crying harder at the end of this movie than I was in the ending of Toy Story 3. Yeah, this movie is a true animated masterpiece, and tied with The Lion King as the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life, period. No negatives whatsoever. It's better than Toy Story 3. It's better than Kung Fu Panda 3. It's better than The Dark Knight Rises. It's better than War for the Planet of the Apes. And it's better than The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Special thanks to Dean DeBlois for giving us this wonderful trilogy. You can see Dean had a plan with this trilogy from the start. He didn't even want to make this trilogy with DreamWorks unless DreamWorks confirmed it would be a trilogy and no more. And How to Train Your Dragon has dethroned Toy Story as the greatest animated trilogy of all time. I give How to Train Your Dragon 3 The Hidden World 5 stars out of 5. Best movie ever. It sucks that there's no more How to Train Your Dragon after this, but at least it had the perfect conclusion that it deserves. And what a awesome start to 2019. I doubt any other movie this year will top this. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what do you think of How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden World? Which is your favourite How to Train Your Dragon movie? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Google Plus and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time when I rank the DreamWorks movies from best to worst. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.